Hello and welcome back. I've been out traveling now for a little bit more than a week with the car, and it was a lot of gravel roads and quite dirty roads. So one thing that was obvious was that there are no mud flaps in front of the car to protect the car. There is at the back, but nothing at the front. So I thought I should see if I can fit some standard mud flaps in front of the car to protect it better. As you can see, there are big mud flaps at the rear of the car protecting the rear part of the car from dirt and stones. But I was actually very surprised that there is nothing in the front of the car. And especially when you got these terrain tires which collect a lot of stones in the big pattern. And as soon as you start driving, they come loose and they can make quite a lot of damage both to your own car but also to your other trafficants. So as you can see, it collects a lot of dirt. Now I have been washing it off a little bit, but it collects quite a lot of dirt on the fenders in the front, and this can of course damage the paint on the car. But what is more interesting for me is to protect all the installations under the car. One part that was really dirty was the foldable step. Now this is also clean, but when I got home it was all covered in dirt, and that is not, of course, not good for the folding mechanism. And also I have some more installations under the car, for instance the compressor for the hydraulic support legs and a lot of other things that you have on your car. So it's both to protect the paint, but also to protect all the installations under the car, because the stones that come loose when you drive can make quite a big damage. So I went to my local Mercedes dealer yesterday and asked if they had some original mud flaps to the front for the four-wheel drive version, and that was not a problem. So ordered them yesterday, and already this morning they've arrived. So I think it's a shame that Hymer doesn't fit this as standard on this kind of car. I had a campervan before, also four-wheel drive sprinter, and there it was standard. So actually I haven't even been thinking about this until this last trip. So this is the part number, and now I thought we should unbox it and see how it fits on the car. So let's open it up and see what's in this package. Two mud flaps, of course, and some mounting brackets and some screws, but no installation instructions. So we'll have to find out by ourselves, so I'll be back in a minute. So this is the parts included for both sides. So now it's only to figure out how to mount this. I'm especially curious about these brackets. So now I have washed it off a little bit, and as you can see, the mud flap goes in here and mounts in 1, 2, 3 points here, and also one in the back, which I'll show you later. So the first step is to remove some things, and the first thing is this plastic bolt here. And then you have these two plastic attachments. So use some good tool to take them out and take out the bottom part too. And the next one. The next thing you do is that you take this bracket, which fits here behind the wheel arches, and then you take the mud flap and put it in place temporarily here, and then you use these bolts, that plastic bolts that were included with the mud flap, and we mount it a little bit loose here first, just to keep it in place before we continue on the other side. So then we are back here, put this one into place and use the plastic bolt that was there from the beginning. And then you use these plastic clips. One up there, one there. Put them into place and put in the middle part. Then we do the same down here. And then it's only to put everything in place, both here in front and the two in the back for the bracket. And then it's finished. So, and actually some parts was left over. I don't know why, but maybe if you want to use them here instead of these plastic bolts. But I prefer this because they can't damage the paint. If I put in the metal clips, it can damage the paint. But if someone knows what to do with the leftover parts, please make a comment. So there we have it in place, much better protection for the car and especially the installations under the car. It's a perfect fit as you could expect, as it's a factory option. And I think the look suits the car in a very good way, so it's a very fast and quite cheap solution. The cost is only about 75 euro for both, so well invested money and 10 minutes of work.